afternoon and welcome back to Questioning Sense with me, Matt. Okay, weather is absolutely grim. These last couple of days have been awful, very grey, very wet and just not very nice. I think we're very, very blessed here. We have a large garden, so when it's a nice day, being able to spend time in the garden takes the edge right off it. My wife is currently working, so I've been at home with the boy and we've been housebound. Obviously the weather's been rubbish, so it's just not very, very nice really. But apart from that, these are very, very minor gripes. We're actually very, very well and we're all doing fine. And I sincerely hope you guys are too. How's your sanity? How's your health? I hope you're doing really well, doing everything you can to keep yourself focused and occupied. So today I'm going to be reviewing a new perfume to me. I've broken all my rules. I said I wasn't going to buy any perfume during this outbreak, and I said I also wasn't going to be ever doing any more blind buying, so I managed to spectacularly blow that out of the water and order a relative cheap perfume, and it's a complete blind buy, but it really paid off. So today, and this is a special episode for me and Rich, we have just as of last night found out that we've gone over the 1,000 subscribers. Congratulations. So the channel has really grown in a way that we didn't think it would. So thank you for everything. Thank you for your subscription and thank you for your, your support. It means everything. Loving the sort of interfacing with you guys and having a chat. Really good fun. Anywho, enough waffle. Let's get down to it. Today we're looking at Jaïpur Homme from Boucheron, Paris. What an absolute blinder. I've been looking at getting this for absolutely years and I've never smelt it. And, it was an informed blind buy. I've suspected I would like it and I absolutely love it. I've had it 3 days now and I've been wearing it at some point every single day. And look at that bottle, isn't it a classy looking affair? Beautiful cap that is an absolute nightmare to get on and off. It seems to attach itself to the cuff, so that's my main gripe, but it fits well. Very plastic, but it looks quite pretty. The bottle there, look at that. Absolute quality. Really nice fragrance. I'm wearing it at the moment, and what I'm going to do is I shall spray a little bit on now for the purposes of the review, and then we can talk a bit more about it. The spray is not the best, but it's not the worst. It's chucking out quite a bit, actually. It seems to pick, now I've said that, it's upped its game massively. This is, by the way, before we start, this is the EDP. There is an EDT as well, which I haven't obviously smelt. This is the only one from, it's the only fragrance from Boucheron I have smelt, and I do fancy exploring the rest of the collection, especially there's one just called Homme, Boucheron Homme, and I really like the sound of that as well. So let's talk a little bit about Boucheron. They've been around for a long time, but they're a high-end jewellery store mainly. They have sort of branches around the world and all the usual sort of glamorous places, and they sort of make very high-end jewellery. They have, from what I can find out, 52 fragrances in their collection, which isn't bad considering they're not really a perfume house. I look at them more like, say, Chopard or St. Dupont, people like that that have, branched out into perfumery. I think this came out in 1998, and the perfumer behind it is Annick Menardo. Now, I'm not too sure who, of many other works that Annick's done, but this is absolutely blinding. And I noticed when I was sort of researching this, they've used lots and lots of different perfumers for all their different fragrances, so there's a lot to explore. But before we actually go into the perfume, I've got to talk about the price. This can be had in the UK for under £30, which is an absolute steal. I cannot believe this is such good value. It's as far as cheapies go, well, I mean, sort of slightly above cheapie. I think I class anything under £20 as a real cheapie. This is a slightly more expensive cheapie, but in terms of value for money, this is extraordinary. I think this is absolutely beautiful. And I think it probably is going to be a little bit divisive. I think some people might struggle a little bit with it, but generally when I've been talking to people in Facebook groups and things like that, the feedback is that this is an absolute belter. And I think it really is. There's a lot of notes. It's a real spicy oriental, and it totally lives up to being a spicy oriental. So let's have a look at the notes, and then what I'll do is I'll tell you a little bit about how I think it performs and how it makes me feel and what I get from it. So at the top you have lime, you have bergamot, you have cardamom, and you have lemon. And then in the mid, you have carnation, you have cinnamon, you have jasmine, and you have rose. And then on the base, you have tonka bean, you have patchouli, you have benzoin, and you have cedar. When you spray this, like I've just done, you are aware of the citric, the citruses, they come very much to the fore. They sort of announce themselves with the cardamom. And that seems to kind of dominate for the first hour or so. And the other spices are always there. The rose is there, but you don't really notice it as a rose, to be honest. I think Rich will be absolutely fine with this one. The rose is so non-important. Well, it's not non-important, but it's not a bit player in this at all. The rose is there, the carnation is there. The jasmine seems to be the note that's there, and I think there's other florals in here as well, because it does have a kind of a floral feel. Tonka bean, patchouli, benzoin, and cedar, these are very much in the base, and they very much ground this perfume. And it is, I would describe this as unisex. It's obviously designed to be a masculine fragrance, but to me it's completely unisex and probably a little bit feminine for some people, because it has that kind of florally feel to it, which I think I generally associate more with sort of feminine leaning perfumes. But this is beautiful. It's so grown up, it's so classy, it's so elegant, it's opulent. I'm gonna, I need to open the big book of cliches to describe this properly. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance. I think it's certainly probably for the more mature fragrance enthusiast, as we often say. The young thrusters out there might find this feels a bit dated. But what I love about this perfume is it does everything in stages. You kind of get like a period, like an hour or 2 hours, and then after that it changes again, and then it changes again, and it changes again before it kind of goes. And when I first got it, I came home and sprayed it, and then sort of spent the evening with my family. And then when I woke up in the morning, it was still there, still pumping out. So the performance is excellent. For the first couple of hours, it really does project very strongly with a beautiful sillage. Bizarrely, what I've noticed of it, and bearing in mind, please understand, I've only worn this around the house. I haven't worn it out yet. I've not had it that long, and I've not been able to go out anywhere properly to give it a real test run. So I don't know exactly. But for me, what I notice is when it stops projecting, which the projection does die off, the sillage seems to stay with it. It still leaves a trail, it leaves stuff in the air, and it's noticeable around the house. You notice it if you go into a room, come out, then go back in again. You certainly know you've been in there, because it hangs in the air really well. And it does last on your skin for an awfully long time. I'm talking at least 10 or 12 hours. Maybe not very strongly towards the end, but it's still there. It's still very, very noticeable. It's good stuff. What I like is there's a powderiness that comes into this. But it's not overly powdery. It smells nothing like Parfums de Nicolas New York Intense, but it feels very, very similar. They kind of do that sort of clean, fresh, soapy, powdery, spicy thing very, very well. And I know that's kind of like, it's going to be quite bamboozling, but honestly, if you consider, look at some of the perfumes I have in my collection, I have lots and lots of strange, weird and wonderful ones that are quite hard to describe. But this one has absolutely flummoxed me in terms of how to describe it. It's a spicy, oriental, almost barbershop, but not quite. I wouldn't call it a classic barbershop. I think it would need more lavender for it to be a barbershop, but I think there's lavender in here somewhere, just a little. Then it does give it that kind of barbershop vibe, which, again, as I get older, I love more and more and more. It is just, it's wonderful stuff. And I honestly, I've been waiting so long to actually try this. I should have bought this years ago, because I think I would have probably... I don't know. I think it's amazing. I think everyone should at least smell it. I think you're going to struggle to find it in store. If we ever get to go to stores again, you're going to struggle to find it in store to give it a smell. I'm not sure who carries it. This seems to be available mainly either at Boucheron boutiques or, from online discounters. But, trust me on this one. It's well worth going. If you know anyone that's got it, beg for a sample so you can try it. Or, I don't know about blind buying. I don't particularly like doing it. I did in this case, and I don't always recommend it, but it's worked for me, but it might not work for you. So try and get a sniff of it before you buy it. If you do blind buy it and it goes wrong, you've only lost 30 quid at worst. You may even be able to get it cheaper than that. And you will probably, if you're in Facebook groups, be able to move it on quite quickly. Because some people, as I've mentioned, really didn't like it. They said it was too spicy and too crazy. I don't think it is. There's a lot of spice in it, but it's not an overly spicy. I know it sounds like another contradiction, But because this perfume is blended so well, there's nothing that's overly prominent. That's not too cinnamony. It's not too cardamony. Everything's just smoothly put together. You know, I like spicy fragrances, and so, but then saying that, when I tried Hermes Poivre Samarcande, that I could not get in with that at all. The cumin note in it was too strong. It smelled like body odour on me, and I really didn't like it. And Rich had the same problem with Samarcande, and we both really wanted to like that one, but it did not work for us. So I am aware that sometimes a spicy fragrance may or may not work for you, but for me, oh, this is just a delight. I'm so glad I've got this in my collection, and I'm absolutely going to hammer it. I'm now starting to think, because I've worn it so much in such a short period of time, am I going to need a backup bottle of this? And it's a 100ml bottle. Do you know what I mean? There's a huge amount of liquid in there. But before we finish, let's just have another look at that frosted glass and that presentation there. It's absolutely divine. Lovely, lovely stuff. I'm totally besotted with it, as you can imagine. So obviously this is going to be a very positive review, or has been a very glowing review, because it's a beautiful perfume. Absolutely stunning stuff. I will say that, you know, where you can wear this, you could wear this anywhere. You could wear this to the pub, you could wear it to work, you could wear it around the house. I don't think there's anywhere you couldn't wear it. Seasonally, maybe some people, I think, would prefer to wear this in the winter, or certainly in the autumn, maybe even the spring, probably for the evenings. I would wear this anywhere, but I don't really, you know, worry too much about that. I would certainly be wearing this all year round. It probably, to, you know, may seem to be like a cooler weather frag, and I get that, but I personally would wear that. Summer evenings, I think it would be amazing, but hopefully we'll find out when the weather picks up, because it hasn't been overly warm since I've had it. So I will give it a proper testing next time we get a nice day in the garden, and if it does, you know, turn out that it doesn't work very well in heat, I will let you know. But yeah, anyone can wear this. It is for the more mature fragrance enthusiast, I think. It is, as I've mentioned earlier, it's unisex, slightly feminine leaning unisex for a masculine fragrance, which is a bit bizarre. It smells classy. I can't wait to be able to put on a suit and go out somewhere nice and wear this, because it's going to be perfect for that. I think you would look so, it will just, you know, it will marry everything together so well. A beautiful scent with a nice suit, you know, perfect stuff. That's where I think it's going to shine. But at the moment, I could wear this to the pub if it ever opens. I could wear this to the living room. I wear it to the bathroom. I wear it to the garden. But all jesting aside, I think it's a wonderful, wonderful perfume you could wear anywhere. So there we go. I hope you are well. I know we keep saying it. If you've got any questions or there's anything we can do, please, please, please contact us. I had lined up a different video to make today, but I was so excited with this, I had to get this one out. So yeah, in closing, this can be worn absolutely anywhere. It's a beautiful, beautiful fragrance, and I absolutely love it. So, as I said, I was going to previously film some different videos, but because that came in, I got so excited, I thought, I've got to get this film out to you guys straight away. And I know some of you have already got this. And if you have, lucky you, this is an amazing fragrance. I hope you enjoy it. Listen, thank you so much for your time. As I said in the last video, your time is precious, and we're so aware of that. And thank you very much for sharing it with us. It means everything to me, and it means everything to Rich, that we can, you know, sort of build this thing and take it forward. And hitting the thousands, you know, going over 1,000 subscribers has been an amazing achievement. It's something that we didn't set out. We didn't think that there'd be that many people that would find what we're doing interesting. But we're glad that, you know, we're glad you are. So thank you very much for your time. Take care. Stay safe. Stay sane. We'll see you on the next video, and bye.